just a few days after that story broke out, we heard about that 26 billion, aid that is going to be delivered, to the state of Israel, and all kinds of armaments.
Yeah.
Are we still in a place where we have to ask questions, regarding the moral, the moral compass of the United States of America? Because
No, it's
it
very
seems
obvious.
they've drawn the line in the sand. They've said this is where we stand. We're going to be funding this genocidal machinery. And don't you think it's now done? The world needs to stop saying, America, hold Israeli occupying forces accountable, hold Netanyahu accountable. Don't you think that that's expired? We don't have to do that anymore. They've chosen a side. They are, a sugar daddy, if you want to say, to the Israeli occupying forces.
Like do not like the United States of America sponsors the criminal behavior of the state of Israel as a norm, as a habit. Like the person they refer to as Genocide Joe now, he was quoted like so many times. Like, if there was no Israel, the United States would have to create an Israel. Like, if there is no savage apartheid regime in Palestine being created, like it's the responsibility of the United States of America to create such a criminal regime. So like that's his own language. So I think the United States of America is honoring its criminal policy throughout the world, So like there is some kind of a competition sometimes that happens between the United States and Israel, and like who can get away with more murder. Like the United States of America, through its army, or the army of the United States of America, have conducted, enough atrocities since the Second World War, which is like resulted on a Holocaust of mass murder throughout the world. So like the conduct of Israeli criminals in Palestine is not a contradiction of the does not contradict American wars and slaughtering of people throughout the world. And you hear that Israeli criminals use the United States criminal behavior as a way to justify their own criminal behavior. Don't criticize us because you did Hiroshima. Don't criticize us because you murdered 1 million people in Iraq. Don't criticize. So it's in a way that there is nothing that the state of Israel is doing in terms of criminal behavior that contradicts American foreign policy in murdering people in different parts of the world. So they can or they can't say whatever. No, defenders of criminals are shameless. There is not going to be a day where supporters of Israeli criminal behavior that are coming from the United States, there will never be a day that come when they will be saying, oh, we are supporting Israeli criminal behavior because we are racist and we love to see brown people being murdered. They're not going to say that. The reason you had an immediate reaction to the aggression, Russian aggression in Ukraine, while you don't even have any kind of you don't even think of holding the state of Israel responsible for its genocide, and you use your veto power every single time Palestinians have minimum access to justice. That's simply because we are not white. I do not want to complete. Now, when I bring in an American expert to explain it to us, and it's they're not going to say yeah, we are okay with murder of Palestinians because we've been okay with it since the time of Harry Truman back in 1948, and we've been supplying Israeli criminals with the means of maintaining their crime. Now, the disgusting, something that is more disgusting that you can pay attention to is that the United States of America is supplying the state of Israel with billions of dollars worth of weaponry and bombs, and then supplying Palestinians with some kind of food. In what world is this kind of psychotic behavior, this kind of like mad behavior, in what kind of world do we live? To think that supplying a criminal with means of murder, while supplying the victims with means of survival, in what world is that like viewed as a form of civility? In what world is like you have like a defender of the of Israeli criminal behavior, who just like stands with all the arrogance that a white savage can have, telling you like, who did more for the welfare of the Palestinians than America? And it's like,
Really?
what, like you support the elimination of Palestinians over the past 75 years, and you consider that to be like doing them something in their favor. So in the end of the day, like Western politicians who stand in support of Israeli criminal behavior, Western governments who will never ever demand that Israel hands over one criminal to face justice, that's kind of that's kind of like the common behavior we have, and the president was rooted in allowing the Israeli criminals to get away with their crime back in 1948, continues up until today. Like, I can give you so many examples of the exact same thing. There is a Zionist judge that was brought from the south of Africa under the name Richard Goldstone.
Mm-hmm.
He came in like in the peak of Israeli apartheid practices, and he was in denial of. He did an investigation of Israeli apartheid while Israeli apartheid is being conducted. It's still being conducted, and he didn't find Israeli atrocities committed against Palestinians to qualify to the crime of apartheid. So, investigating obvious criminal behavior is giving a chance for the criminals to go on maintaining their criminal behavior.